Hi, welcome everyone to this webinar of the full-time MSc in Management here at Nyenrode Business Universiteit. The goal of this session is to provide you with more information on the program and also to see whether there is a match between you and Nyenrode Business Universiteit. My name is Naomi Flipse and I work as a program advisor at the university, so I'm always happy to help you towards your application. I do this together with my colleague Wendy Beke. So if you have more questions after the webinar, please contact us via the info in this slide. We're always happy to answer your questions. Now, I'd like to introduce the program of today. We'll start off with the curriculum. So we'll talk more about the courses and also the specialization tracks that you can choose. Then we'll move on to the two different locations, so Student Life in Breukelen and Student Life in Amsterdam. Then we have a short interview with one of our alumni, so we can see what life is like after the full-time MSc Management. And then we have a Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can always ask them in the chat. My colleague Wendy will answer them, or you can save them for the Q&A in the end. After the Q&A, there will be a short presentation on studying in the Netherlands. So this is mainly interesting for the international students that are present here today. Now, I will not be doing this alone, so I've invited 5 guests here today to help me with it. And before we move on to talking about the curriculum, I'd like to show you a short clip.
Do you want to take your management skills to the next level? Nyenrode's full-time Master of Science in Management offers you everything you need. With 2 Nyenrode locations, you can either choose vibrant city life in Amsterdam or campus life in Breukelen. Our 16-month program starts with the Pre-Master, a 4-month boot camp focusing on the foundations of management and getting you ready for the required academic level of the Masters. For a perfect start, you can also join our 2-week summer course to freshen up your knowledge and get to know your classmates. After getting the Pre-Master certificate, you will deepen your knowledge in the 12-month Master phase by joining the main courses Management Science and Operations and Supply Chain Management. You will also gain some general knowledge on specific topics. After this, you can choose one of 3 specialization tracks. The Global Business track is focused on international operating companies. With Digital Business and Innovation, you focus on becoming the intermediary between business and digitization. The Financial Management track specializes in advanced financial knowledge, from sustainability to structuring deals. All tracks will have our Global Immersion module, in which we visit companies, universities, and join lectures, gaining even more practical knowledge. At Nyenrode, we greatly value hard and soft skills. That's why we provide a unique personal leadership and career development program throughout the Master phase. You will choose one of our core values, leadership, entrepreneurship, or stewardship, and work together with stakeholders. The last phase will be your individual research, thesis, and defense. Next step, graduation. You are ready for a leading role in tomorrow's business world. So, come join our Nyenrode community and start your journey now.
Yes, so that was the program in short. And now I'd like to introduce you to our first 2 guests of today. First, there's Ilse van Vliet, Program Manager here at Nyenrode. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Ilse van Vliet and I work as a Program Manager for the full-time MSc program. And my main focus is basically on doing my part in the quality of the program, but also being in touch with the students and with the lecturers. Yeah, okay. And I really love doing it still, so that's good.
Thank you. And there's also a current student here today, current student from Amsterdam. Jeroen, could you shortly introduce yourself?
For sure. My name is Jeroen Sieben. I'm 24 years old and I was born and raised in Rotterdam, but I still study in Amsterdam. I'm currently a student of the Global Strategy track as a master student, and I'm the president of the Jongste Compagnie Ververre, which is the student association attached to the location in Amsterdam.
Okay, thank you. Now you've heard a little bit about the program in the video, but I'd like to dive in a little deeper with our two guests. So Ilse, if I can ask the first question to you. Could you tell us what the Nyenrode values are and how are they incorporated in the courses?
Sure. Leadership, entrepreneurship and stewardship are the main values of Nyenrode, and they are basically incorporated in many different ways, but we will encourage you to take responsibility and not only focusing on now but also focusing on the future, and we will really stimulate students to be proactive and to be creative and to really dare to put yourself out there, to dare to put yourself in the spotlight, basically. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And well, it was already in the program, but could you tell us a little bit more about the structure of the program? So you start with the pre-master in September.
Yeah. So the MSc program, including the pre-master, in total takes you 16 months. The pre-master phase takes you 4, and then the master phase takes you 12, so a year. The pre-master offers you different subjects related to business, so it really gives you the solid foundation to enter the master. And for students with a non-academic background, the pre-master must be followed to really start in the master phase in the new year. And in the master phase you will really deepen your knowledge, and then you will also start specifically into a track of your choice.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah. And could you please give us an example of a track that you can choose? So
yeah. You can choose out of 3 tracks, so it is either global, it is digital, and it is financial. So there are basically 3 specific tracks that you can choose from. And during the pre-master we will really provide you with more information on those 3 tracks, because you can choose for yourself. So it is your own decision. But for financial management we will also look into your pre-master mathematical courses and how you did there, to see if you can enter the track.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice. And well, Jeroen, I would like to ask you a more general question. Why did you choose for Nyenrode?
Well, that's actually a fun story. My mom came with Nyenrode as she already encountered it in her past, and she said that it would be a great fit for me. At least she thought so. So from that moment on, we went to the open days, so we experienced what Nyenrode is all about, and immediately I felt there was a match. I've always had ambitions to be an entrepreneur one day, and really loved the business side of the Netherlands, but also the world. And therefore I feel Nyenrode was just the perfect match for me as a person. So I also looked at different universities, but I kind of immediately made my choice once I came to the open days at Nyenrode and saw everyone in suits, dressed up nice, interact with me immediately, so that was really nice.
Okay, great, thank you. And you chose for Amsterdam.
Yes.
Could you tell us why did you choose Amsterdam?
Of course. Well, the 2 locations are quite different in culture. You see different type of people at the locations, and I felt that Amsterdam was just the best fit for me as a person. Also because I am originally from the city, Rotterdam. So going to a different city, Amsterdam, just felt right for me at that moment. Of course, Breukelen is an amazing campus, and you have the facilities to live there as well. But for me, it just worked best to transport myself from one city to the other and remain my social interactions where I live, but still have the full make use of the full potential of the Nyenrode experience in Amsterdam.
Okay, thank you. So you mentioned that Nyenrode is really special because of the networking and also because of the courses that we offer in personal development. So you will not only learn academically about the program, but also develop yourself in the program. And I would like to ask you, how do the teachers at Nyenrode teach? How do they make it personal?
That's really special, actually. I've talked to a lot of internationals which ask me the same question, and I always say it's a very personal approach. So what I really love about the teachers at Nyenrode is that you can just ask them a specific question if you don't understand something or you need special help, and they're immediately prepared to help you out on the spot or after the class. In comparison to, for instance, a bigger university where you're more like a number. So you're in classrooms of 60 to 100 people, and here you're in a classroom with 20 to 30 or 50. But the teacher knows your name, he or she knows exactly what your capabilities are and where you struggle with, and they are really prepared to help you along your process or actually succeeding your courses. So that's what I really liked about this university.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you also mentioned Nyenrode is really about business. So Nyenrode is indeed a business university. So everything is revolves around business and learning how to do business. And Ilse, can I please ask you from what kind of backgrounds do students come from? Are they all coming from bachelor in business or also different backgrounds?
No, not only business related. It's various. So you don't need a specific bachelor in business or bachelor in economics to apply for the program or to be accepted. But I think even last year I had students coming with technical backgrounds or engineering, sometimes even medical backgrounds, philosophy, languages. So it's quite various. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, students come from different backgrounds, and that's really what the pre-master is also designed for. Like, you can set the basis for the master phase. So you can set the basis in marketing, finance, and etc. There's also a summer school offered. And Ilse, could you tell us for whom is the summer school designed, and what do they teach you at the summer school?
Yeah, we have for summer school we have two options. We have English grammar and we have mathematics, and mathematics covers economics, finance, but also statistics. So it's basically a combination of those three. And it gives you a kickstart basically to enter the pre-master. Could be also for students that have no background with mathematics or finances, or students that have not studied fully in English before during their bachelor's. So I think, yeah, following the summer school in that case, you can be really more confident before your start of the pre-master, because that can sometimes be a pressure cooker.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so the summer school is not mandatory, but it's really advised to do it because it gives you a really good start to your program here at Nyenrode. And so Jeroen chose to study in Amsterdam. It's important to note that the program is exactly the same in both locations. So whether you choose Amsterdam or Breukelen, the program will be the same. You have the same courses, you can choose the same tracks, and also the teachers teach at both locations. So now, Jeroen, you also did the pre-master, right? How did you experience the workload after your bachelor in the pre-master?
Well, I think it was pretty good, the workload. Of course, you need to put in some effort, logically, because it's a university. That step was kind of something that I have to get used to, comparison to the bachelor that I did previously. But I think if you stay on track, you do your homework, you prepare for your tests, you will be capable enough to succeed every test. But of course, you need to put in the effort that is required in order to succeed these courses. But overall, I think it's manageable. You could even have some extra curricular activities besides, like the student association where I'm attached to. But you need a good management in order to
good time management.
Yeah, for sure, indeed.
Yeah, okay, great. And then also the pre-master, you have to pass it in the first month, right? So so you really have to pass the pre-master before you can enter the master phase. So that's also why it's sometimes workload is quite heavy, but after you get through it, you'll have a good basis for the master phase. Then a little bit about personal development. So Ilse, for what does this master prepare you after the master? What does it prepare you for?
Of course, it prepares you for your career in business and the first steps that you are going to take. And I think the combination between the academic skills and the academic knowledge and the practical relevance, but also in the steps you took as a person, and that is the personal development. We believe it's really a good kickstart for your future career.
Yeah, we also have a course for that, the Personal Leadership and Career Development. Could you give us some examples of what you will be doing during this course?
Yeah, in the personal leadership program, it starts in the master phase, so it's a bit later in the program, but we will really challenge you to become the best version of yourself, and you will do that as a responsible leader by really analyzing and reflecting on your learnings and on your development.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, part of this personal leadership and career development is also networking. So you will attend networking events. And Jeroen, can I ask you, how do you experience the Nyenrode Alumni Network? Have you already met alumni? And how do you experience that?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the strengths of Nyenrode is actually the network behind it. Especially for me as a student and president of the association, I've been in contact with a lot of people that I've never thought of to come in contact before I entered Nyenrode. So it's really special. For instance, the network behind Nyenrode, the platform they use, it's really low barrier. So I can just search for a specific industry or a topic, and they give me people that have studied at Nyenrode that are currently active in that field, for instance, and I can just contact them right away. For instance, a cup of coffee, have a small chat, and the door is always open for these people. So I really personally value this specific network because it's that low barrier, and along your curriculum or when you're attached to the association, you have many opportunities to come in contact with people. For instance, for our subjects or our assignments, we need to perform a specific analysis on a company, as an example, and reaching out to alumni, they're immediately open to help out, or they're kind of happy to receive you to help them out with their company if you do the assignment for them, for instance.
That's great. So they're really happy to help a Nyenrodian
absolutely.
With their future. Yeah.
It's kind of a family. It's like contacting your great uncle that you wanted to talk with, and that can help you, for instance. So that's really lovely.
Great, thank you. And so you've talked about the network. Thank you very much. And we'll now move on to the next topic. So student life in Breukelen. Before I begin with that, I will show you a short clip of the campus in Breukelen. Yeah, so that was the campus in Breukelen. So it's a historical estate with a castle from the 13th century. It also has a rose garden and many animals, so it's a really special environment. And I would like to introduce the third guest of today, Shubham. Good afternoon. Could you shortly introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Shubham. I come from India. I'm 24 years old, and I'm currently enrolled in the full-time Masters in Management at Nyenrode.
Great. And you are a Breukelen student?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. So Shubham, you've been living on campus for over a year now. Could you please tell us a little bit on what makes campus life so special here in Breukelen?
You have to live it to experience it, like what makes it special. But of course, there's a lot of history behind it. Ever since 1946, we have had cohort and who have done similar things in the introduction, and there's a whole line of actions, and whenever we talk to any alumni, and there's always a set of shared experiences which makes it very special to be a part of this campus. And of course there are lots of facilities, and you live in a kind of a good bubble, and friends are always close by, so if you always need any help, there'll always be someone at the campus.
Great. Yeah. You say shared experience because there's a very unique student life here. So the program is exactly the same as in Amsterdam, but there's a student association here in Breukelen, the NCV. Could you tell a little bit on what the NCV is and what do they teach you?
Okay, NCV is a student association here. A student association is basically an organization which is totally operated by students to connect with other students and to share similar interests and to organize events and stuff. So NCV is a student association. NCV stands for New Company van Verre. It was also founded in 1946 alongside Nyenrode, and it has several committees in it, and basically a committee is a group of people which is responsible to carry out certain tasks, maybe to organize events or to maybe help out program management on open days, or to help out other students with certain personal stuff, and lots of things. We have more than 30 committees in NCV, and being a part of committee makes it a special experience of being a student here.
So there are over 30 committees,
Yeah.
and they all organize things. So actually, there's never a dull moment here on campus.
I think it's just too busy.
It's too busy
Yeah.
almost. Okay, yeah. Because maybe you don't know Breukelen, because it's in a village. It's about 40 minutes away from Amsterdam, and maybe you think there's not much to do in this village, but the NCV makes sure that you have a lot to do on campus, and there's never a dull moment here.
Yes.
So that's why you can participate in a committee, organize things yourself, and be creative with that. And about housing, because maybe you've heard there's quite some issues in the Netherlands with students finding rooms. It's important to know that here on campus we have housing. Now, how does it work with housing, Shabam? Do you get a room, and do you get your own room?
Yes, I think all the master's students get their own room, especially for the master's program. If there is lots of students living on the campus, then for the pre-master you might have to share a room for 4 months, but for masters, I think every student gets his or her own room.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
that's a bit like a studio, or do you have to share
It
your
is,
kitchen?
It is a studio. You have a small kitchenette, you have your own bathroom, and it's actually quite big, the room, compared to what you pay for, so I think it's a good deal.
Yeah. So that's very convenient when you choose to study at Nyenrode, that you don't have to worry about this. Don't have to worry about finding a room. Now, how many students do actually live on campus? Is it only master students, or?
I think it's 2 cohorts of masters and 3 cohorts of bachelors that live here. So the exact number changes throughout the year because people move in, people move out, but it's somewhere between 250 to 300 students at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know everyone?
I do.
Or- Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like a small village where you know everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Great. Now, there are a lot of facilities on campus. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yes, of course we have, speaking of sports, we have tennis courts here, we have a big sport hall, we have a gym, we also have a hockey field and a rugby field, and sports is really active here, and at the same time there's also meeting rooms in the coach house and the Albert Heijn building where you can work on a group assignment or have meetings with other people, as well as we have a rostrum which is like a small place in the center of campus to hang out with friends, and there is a common room where we can watch movies together and play snooker sometimes. So yeah, it's a big thing, especially the sports here is very much involved. People are very much involved here, especially one of my good friends, Fedza. He was recently in the Forbes magazine for his hockey playing, which was nice. I'm so proud of him. So yeah, it's an all-around campus. It's not just academic.
It's really also about sports here at Nyenrode.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Okay, and also what about food? Is there a restaurant, a bar?
Yeah, indeed, there is Mensa. It is open Monday to Friday, and you can just go with your friends, and we also have main tables every Monday. So it's like every student comes on the main table and there are speeches by other students on what happened last week, and it's like a big social bonding thing that happens there. So there's also Mensa, and there's also one bar which is run totally by students from A to Z, and yeah, where people can just go with their friends to socialize.
Okay, so you do a lot together, like you eat together, do sports together, and
Indeed,
yeah.
that's the benefit of being on a campus, that you're so close with other friends that you can you basically do everything throughout the whole day.
Okay, great, thank you. Yes, I think that I've asked all my questions to you. Thank you. Now there's the campus here in Breukelen, and it's really social, really active, and some students prefer to have a bit more time of their own, to have a bit more independence, and that's why we also have the location in Amsterdam. Before we move on to our next guest, I'd like to show you a short clip of Amsterdam. Yes, that was our beautiful location in Amsterdam. It's a historical building right in the city center at the Keizersgracht. So it's a really nice environment with a lot of shops and restaurants and just a vibrant environment. Now, there Jeroen is again, thank you. And we also have Ivo, current student in Amsterdam. Ivo, could you really introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Ivo Boscher. I'm a MSc 31 student at the Amsterdam campus.
Okay, thank you. And Ivo, why did you choose for Nyenrode?
Well, it's just what you mentioned in the Amsterdam campus. I think you're more on your own. You're going to the lectures, but after that, it's also nice to go home. And as I'm a bit more of an introverted person, I guess that was what suited me best. So that's why.
Okay, thank you. What also makes the campus in Amsterdam really special is our incubator. Jeroen, could you tell us a little bit about the incubator? What is it? And
Yeah, for sure. So we have at the Amsterdam campus a place where actually small businesses can rent a spot for a very low price at a prominent place in Amsterdam. So if you're ambitious and you like to start a company during your study or afterwards, you will have the possibility to rent a place at the Keizersgracht in the Nyenrode building. So that's a very nice facility that it's offered at Nyenrode Amsterdam.
Thank you. Yes. And do you know anybody who is participating in the incubator? Do you have an example?
Yes. So I have a friend at the Breukelen campus actually. So we interact a lot between Amsterdam and Breukelen as well. And one of my friends from the Breukelen campus, he recently started a company, a digital company actually. And he asked me if there was any space that he could rent, for instance, and I directed him to the incubators, which he had his first interview last week, I think, and he was accepted. So now he will be renting a place there at the incubator, and I think that's very nice because it facilitates him as a person to grow his company and to start it. And there are many more companies actually currently present in the incubators. For instance, a sport company with a platform. There was also a company that made cookies. So it's a variety of companies together, and mostly all these people are Nyenrodeans that work there at the moment.
Okay. Yes, indeed. As you say, it's really a variety of companies. So if you have any idea and you want to make it into a company, you can apply for a place in the incubator, which is super cool. And it's a really nice environment to really start up your company, since you're still close to the university with all their knowledge, and you're also together with other startups from which you can learn. Now, Jeroen, you're also the president of the JCV. Could you tell us what is the JCV? So we just talked about the NCV with Shaban. Now in Amsterdam you have the JCV. What is the JCV about?
Yeah, so the JCV stands for Jongste Compagnie van Verre, which is also related because we are not in existence as long as the NCV. We are now currently 12 years old, excuse me. But we are growing really, really fast, and I think that track is very nice, and you can really live together with your students and see the potential that the student association has. So what do we offer? We have, as well as the NCV, several committees. And as board, it is my function to oversee these committees, to make sure everything goes as planned, together with my team, but also socially interact and be the face actually of the association. These committees organize several events, from fun-related to professional-related. To give you an example, yesterday we had a rally, so we drive around with cars through Dutch cities to collect points, and at the end you have a winner. But we also organize a ski trip, for instance, and sport activities. As we don't have the facilities in Breukelen, we organize everything ourselves. But the fun thing is that we can work closely with companies in Amsterdam, so that also widens your network.
Yeah.
And on the professional side, we have several partnerships with business clubs. For instance, the IGC, Industriële Grote Club, where we organize lectures on specific topics, and you have the possibility to interact with prominent people from the business world that are actually a member of this business club. So that's very nice.
Cool, interesting, yes. So, so you organize professional as well as social events. So as you can hear, while Amsterdam doesn't have a campus, it's still really vibrant and lively. There's lots to do, and you can choose whether to become really active, or maybe you prefer to spend your time otherwise. Maybe you like sports or music, and there's a lot of opportunities in Amsterdam. Now, Ivo, you're also part of a committee, or maybe more. Could you give us an example and tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, well, I'm part of the protocol committee, and within the protocol committee, you actually help out with the open days and actually help potential new students to get a glimpse of what Nyenrode is. And that's what we do in the protocol committee. But you have a lot of committees. Skiing, gala. Yeah, it's really great.
A lot of options to choose from.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Yeah, so Ivo is in the protocol, so that means he helps us actually with us answering your questions, and he can also show you the campus in Amsterdam if you'd like to be shown around in the building. And maybe, I don't know, one of you, can you tell us a bit more, what is life in Amsterdam like? What is there to explore? How is it to be a student in Amsterdam?
Well, I think you explained it very nice. It's a vibrant city, so every day something is going on. And I think as an Amsterdam student, you can make it as crazy as you want. Every day you can socially interact with new people, internationals, national people, classmates or friends that you just encountered in the city. But the possibilities are endless. So you have many activities, sporting activities, of course, with clubs, football clubs, tennis, padel, skiing in the winter, or ice skating, in the winter. But also professionally, Amsterdam is a very nice city to develop yourself, I think. Everything is English spoken there as well. So for internationals, I think it's very nice to immediately be able to communicate with everyone on the street. Yeah. And besides that, the potential of Amsterdam is endless. Besides, it's a very historical city, of course, and very nice, has a nice culture. It is one of the center points of the Netherlands regarding finance, for instance, but also business life and entrepreneurship. Yeah. And I think these possibilities are endless.
Great, yeah. So also never a dull moment in Amsterdam.
No, you can make it as crazy as you want. On a Monday you can have a drink with friends, and you will see that the old bars in Amsterdam are as crowded as you've ever seen them. Yeah. But on the other side, on the next Tuesday, you will be able to participate in a nice networking event that's being organized by an industry, for instance. So that's every day you can do something.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, housing in Amsterdam, of course, it's also difficult in Amsterdam to find a room. Now, you both don't live here in Amsterdam, but maybe, Ivo, did you hear from classmates? How did they find housing? How did they take that approach?
Yeah, well, they did find it difficult to find housing, but I guess through Nyenrode it's really nice that you have our domain in Diemen as well. It's really close to Amsterdam. So I have a few friends living there, and it really, really helped.
Yeah, and have you been there also with your friends?
Yeah, it's really nice. We actually we hung out. You have like a roof bar thing, so we did a barbecue there, and had a blast. It was really nice.
Yeah, indeed, as you say, we have our domain campus. So it's a campus in Diemen, just outside of Amsterdam. From there, it will take you about 30 to 40 minutes to get to the location, to the university. And it's a really nice environment because you can get a studio there or an apartment ranging from, I think, 900 to 1,400 euros. And if you apply on time for Nyenrode and you say, I want a room there in our domain, we can help you with that. So again, if you choose to study at Nyenrode, there's a lot of housing possibilities. So that's really good to know. And now I would like to show you the Our Domain campus. We have a short video of that, of a student who lives there, and I'd like to show you that.
I asked Nyenrode from, hey, is there a place close by? And just in a matter of weeks, I was living here. I'm Mark Groenewegen, I'm 24 years old and I'm currently living here in Our Domain, Diemen-Zuid.
Well, I think that Amsterdam is a very nice city. Everybody speaks English here, so it's more opportunity for you as a foreigner to live in here. My name is Suryani, come from Indonesia, and I'm studying here at Nyenrode Business University for a full-time MBA.
Something I really like about this building is that we have our own cinema and you can just go there with your laptop, play games, watch movies, and you can do it all together. The room is perfect, you have everything you need. You have your own shower, you have your own kitchenette. Compared to like other places in Amsterdam, I think you get really worth your money well.
We all live very nicely. It's very convenient and very nice that have your old classmates living in the same building here with you. And also we study together, we do assignment together. It's very nice. The surrounding here is very nicely. The tram, the metro station, all are next here, 5 minutes walk. 2 minutes walk, you get to the supermarket. There's a lot of nice restaurants next to our Diemen. I would really recommend other students to come to our Diemen because it's very convenient that you cannot find it in other places in Amsterdam.
The atmosphere is really nice, everything is really vibrant, so I really enjoy it here.
Yeah, so now you've heard about the program, you've heard about student life in Breukelen, student life in Amsterdam. Now you might wonder, what is the investment? Now the first fee is the application fee. So for the LTP test, the IQ test and the selection day you have to pay 300 euros. Then the pre-master fee is 10,300 euros and the master fee is 22,100. And there's also a fee for the different student associations. Now, how can I finance this investment? Well, of course, you can use savings and loans. And if you're a Dutch student, you can also apply for the DUO scholarship. We also have scholarships at Nyenrode. We have a revolving scholarship, so it means that you can apply for a scholarship and then when you're graduated and you start working, you pay it forward. Now, if you want more information on this scholarship, please contact me or Wendy after the webinar. And if you're still enthusiastic, I would like to show you the admission steps because there are some steps you need to take and these are important things to remember. So the first step is to apply online via our online application form. So you can just click the green button on our website and fill in the form. You have to upload a cover letter, a resume and some other things. Then you will be contacted by our admissions officer. Her name is Vanessa. She will contact you with the date that you can take the LTP. The LTP is an IQ assessment that you can do online at home. Now, if you already have a GMAT or a GRE, you don't have to make the Nyenrode LTP. You can show that you have the GMAT or GRE. And the minimum scores are on our website. Then the final step is to attend the selection day. So the selection day consists of a group assignment and a personal interview to see whether there's a match between you and Nyenrode. Now here are some key dates. So if you want to apply for our Master Start in January, the deadline for non-EU students is October 15 and the deadline for EU students is November 15. So this is for the master start in January. Now, who is eligible for a master start? It's mostly students who have a research university bachelor related to business. But not all bachelors are exempted from the pre-master, so please contact us to see if you're eligible for that. If you want to join the pre-master start in September 2024, it's important to see that we have an early bird deadline. It's March 25th. If you apply before that, you will be sure that there's still a spot available at your favorite location. And also there is a discount on the application fee. Please contact us for the rules on that. The final deadline for scholarship candidates, so if you apply for a scholarship, is also March 25th. The final deadline for non-EU students is June 1st and the final deadline for EU students is June 15. Okay, now I would like to introduce to you a new guest at the table, Sunmin Lee. Could you please shortly introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sunmin Lee and I'm originally from South Korea and I graduated full-time master program in 2020 and currently I live in the Netherlands and work as an international marketer at Nyenrode. So yeah.
Great, thank you. Now, can I ask you, why did you choose to study at Nyenrode?
For me, actually, I like the combination, the unique combination of practical relevance and academic knowledge of the full-time MSc program. And my focus was developing myself more than academic knowledge. So I thought that the Nyenrode environment and program setting quite fit for me. So I searched it at that moment, and then actually Nyenrode team visited Seoul at that moment and opened the info session. So I had time to get to know about Nyenrode live and also program advisor in person. So yeah, from that moment I made a decision. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And so you followed your masters here at Nyenrode in Breukelen. After your masters, how did you find a job here in the Netherlands?
Actually, my graduation year was 2020, and at that moment I got impacted by COVID. So actually it was quite difficult to get a job. But at the end, after a few months, the situation got better, and I luckily could find a job that I wanted to, which is international marketer, a position at Nyenrode. So after that moment, I got a work visa sponsored by Nyenrode, and so far I currently live and stay in the Netherlands. Yeah.
So you actually used the Nyenrode network to find your job here at Nyenrode.
Indeed.
That's great. And could you maybe tell us some other examples where maybe students can end up? Maybe you have heard from your classmates.
Yeah, I think the courses in Nyenrode full-time master program is quite various, and even though it is business master program, so I think my classmates' job positions are very various. Like they work in consultancy, finance, marketing, project management. So I think if you have a specific the field that you really wanted to study, you can study in Nyenrode in business program, and then I think after that you can help by our alumni to find like specific job that you want. So I think the field is quite various.
Thank you. Yeah, as you can also see in the slide, our students end up in various different backgrounds. So they end up in consulting, finance, banks, and also students go to big international companies such as Heineken, KLM. Some choose to start working full-time immediately, and some choose to do a traineeship. So to continue learning and also start working. There's also a percentage of students that chooses to start their own company. So for example, at the incubator or by themselves. And so students really end up in various areas. As students come from different backgrounds, they combine the Nyenrode degree with their own background and field that they're interested in. Yes, so that is what you can do after the master. So that is what you get in return for the investment. Now I'd like to show you the next steps. So if you're a Dutch student and you'd like to visit one of our locations, please feel free to visit one of our next events, also if you're an international student, of course, but then I can understand that it might be more difficult. We have an open day in Amsterdam on the 13th of October and also an open day in Breukelen on November 4. If you're interested to have a personal info session with me or Wendy, in which we can give you more information and also answer some of your more personal questions, you can scan the QR code and make an appointment with us one-on-one. So this can be online, in Breukelen or in Amsterdam. So please scan the QR code if you're interested in that. And now I'd like to start off with the Q&A. So please ask your questions in the chat, or you can speak up and I can answer your questions. Are there any questions already? If not, I'd like to start with some questions that I got from Wendy that were already sent beforehand or in the chat. So about the visa process, maybe something you can tell a bit about that. How does it work with the visa?
I think actually the visa process is handled by our program management team. So if you get accepted from to the program, from that moment, student program management team will apply your visa instead of you. So actually the visa process wise, we don't need to handle by ourselves. So just apply on time is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So our admissions officer will help you with the visa process. Now, if you have any questions directed to Ivo, the current student, or Sunmin, you can also let us know via speaking up. Okay. I hear there are some questions, so maybe they will be given to me. In the meantime, I would like to ask Ivo about which track did you choose, and can you tell us a little bit about that track?
Yeah, well, I chose the global track out of the three tracks, and I really enjoy it. It's about global, so internationally focused, and of course, it's like for example, new economic powers, which I found very interesting. To learn new perspectives on growing an economy, for example, and differences between the US and China and other countries. It's really interesting. So it's really internationally focused.
Okay, so really learning how to deal with cultural differences and doing business in an international environment.
Yeah.
Okay, and with the track you already started, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go on a global immersion model.
Mm-hmm.
What is the global immersion module, and where will you go?
Well, I have the global immersion program. It's in, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks, and we're going to San Francisco, which is really nice. And it's focused on digitalization, so we're actually visiting companies there, and I believe the finance track is going to New York and the other track is going somewhere else, so really nice places, really nice to visit companies.
Yeah, so during the global immersion model, students go for 1 week abroad indeed, and they have company visits and very interesting assignments. And in the meantime, I've received some questions from the chat. So the first one is the summer school mandatory? A question from Judith. Well, the summer school is not mandatory. It's 2 weeks of the summer school. It's started before the pre-master. But you can choose to attend or not. It's a really good start for your pre-master because you get prepped for the level of English and also the level of statistics and mathematics. So it can really help you to make a good start. Another question that I got is, what is the English level to start at? So during your application, you have to show that your English level is at a certain level. You can do this by showing that you have an IELTS or TOEFL. It's also possible if you already have a bachelor fully in English and you have done your thesis in English, it's also possible to get an exemption from that IELTS or TOEFL, and you don't have to do that. Another question that I got is, can I work while schooling? So it's a bit about the workload. Maybe Ivo, can you tell a bit about that? Is it possible to do work besides your studying, or is it too much?
I think it's a bit of an individual thing as well. Some people can, some people can, but I think generally people can actually work on the side. I do it myself as well, only a few hours, but some people actually do it a few days.
Yeah.
So it's really, I would advise to just start and to figure out then what's the workload like for you individually.
Yeah, I think that's a good advice. So just start with only a few hours maybe, and then see how much time you have left. So it's a really intense program. It's a full-time program. So you really have to focus on the topics, but also a lot of assignments in which you have to work together. And of course you have meetings for that, you have classes. So really start with only a few hours and then see how much time you have left, and maybe you can increase the hours a little bit. Yes.
Maybe for international students, it's something very specific, because for them they need a specific work visa. So they only can work 16 hours per week.
Okay.
And sometimes it's hard to find like employer who really want to give that specific permit for internationals. So international students always can try and search their job position during their studying period, but in realistic, I feel it's very hard.
It's a bit harder for internationals to to find a job here.
Yeah.
So as an international you can also work, but it's a bit harder maybe to find. Maybe in Amsterdam it will be a bit easier since everyone speaks English there. And it's only a maximum of 16 hours. So that's good to know. Thank you. Then about student coaching, maybe Ivo can tell a little bit about that. How much coaching do you get? Also in regards to getting a job, maybe in the personal leadership and the career development. How do you experience it?
Well, I think you can influence that yourself as well as to how often you want to get help. And I think throughout the whole program you actually get help working on personal development. We have a personal development course, and it consists of group assignments but also personal reflection. And I think that was really helpful. You also get inspiring sessions of entrepreneurs, so you actually have another way of thinking about things through those lectures. So throughout the whole program.
Throughout the whole program, there's guidance in developing yourself towards the job market. Actually, yeah. Okay, thank you. And another question: is it mandatory to follow the pre-master, or are there any exemptions? So I already talked about it a little bit. There are exemptions possible. So if you already have a research bachelor related to business, it's sometimes possible to get an exemption from certain topics, and sometimes it's even possible to get an exemption from the full pre-master, but this is always in consultation with admissions. So if you're interested in knowing that, please contact us, and also hand in your transcripts. We need to see your transcript, so your diploma, your grades, the courses that you've taken, and then we can check for you with admissions whether there are any exemptions possible. So please contact me or Wendy about it, and we'll help you with that. Now there's also a question from Hugo. When does the master program officially start? So there are two starting moments. There's the master start in January for those who get an exemption from the pre-master. Then it starts in the first week of January. So for the pre-master it's a bit different. It starts in August. The summer school mostly starts at the end of July, beginning August, with 2 weeks of summer school. And then mid-August the program of the pre-master starts. It starts with some introduction days from the program, sometimes from the student association, and then you will start the academic program. Then there is a question from Jort. Is a HBO fully in English enough to approve your English level? So this can be enough if your thesis was also fully written in English. So that is also important, and you have to prove this to admissions. So show that you have followed your courses in English, and also your thesis is written in English. And I think those were all of the questions that were asked in the chat or via Teams. And then I would like to thank Ivo and Sunmin for being here and helping me to answer all the questions.
Welcome.
And Now we will move on to the last topic of this webinar, which is about studying in the Netherlands.
My name is Wendy Becquet. I am a colleague of Naomi, and we're now going to talk about life in Holland. So you just heard everything about the curriculum, and now we're going to talk about life in Holland. So you might think, why would you like to go to Holland? Well, I'm going to give you 3 reasons right here and right now. So first of all, Holland has the 2nd largest port of the world and the 1st largest port of Holland. Second of all, Holland is the 17th largest economy in the world. And also, when you're done with your education, you get a 1-year orientation visa. But I'm here with 2 internationals, and I would love to ask you some questions. So, Shabam, what was your first impression of the Netherlands?
I was actually here in 2019, 3 years before I started my master's, and I was in Amsterdam for about a week. And in October, surprisingly, the weather was all rainy and not sunny, but still I liked the experience. And when I left, I had certain questions that I would like to explore about the country. So I thought maybe doing a master's here would be a nice opportunity for me to know more about the country and the region in general.
And how are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's been nice. Of course, we live on a campus, so it's different. We don't get to be in the city for like living in a city, but I'm enjoying the relaxed part of Netherlands, living on a campus. Yeah, winters are tough, but at least you're not in 10 feet of snow, so it's not that bad. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. What about you, Sunmin? Why did you decide to go to Holland? What is your first impression?
Yeah, I actually researched about the Holland, and then actually Netherlands has really steady growth in economics, and also English friendly, and people are open-minded. So I thought that after graduation, I also wanted to work here. So I decided to come to Netherlands because of the reasons. And then for me, I really saw a lot of bicycles, and people really like to use bicycles every day, every time. And I thought that also people care about the energy and sustainable future because of that. And in general, I think people are open-minded, and then culture is quite also open-minded, and then internationally friendly. So far I'm enjoying it.
Okay, well, that's very nice to hear. You have used the orientation year visa, right?
Yeah, so in my graduation year 2020, I got impacted by the COVID situation, and it was not easy to find a company right away after the graduation. So I applied for the job search year visa right away after the graduation. So from that 4 year, I stay in the Netherlands without anything, but still I could use that visa. And after that, I searched the job, and then the company started to provide my work visa. So it was quite useful.
Okay. Yeah. And was it easy to apply for the orientation year visa?
Yeah. So basically, if you have the diploma from a Dutch university, you can just apply for it, and then for me, it takes only 1 month to have the visa. So I applied for that just after the graduation, so it was easy.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Shabam? Are you planning to stay in Holland after, or?
Indeed, for the next 3 to 5 years, I'm planning to stay in Holland and work here.
Why? Why Holland to work here?
Yeah, I just want to explore the country, and I think like being a student here has its own benefits, but also I would like to explore how working here and living like a normal person would feel like. So. Yeah.
Okay. Do you maybe have any tips for all the people who want to join after?
For me, I wanted to say something because it's really, really hard to get housing these days, especially for international students. Netherlands has a housing issue, so Dutch students, even for them, it's very hard to get a house, especially in Amsterdam or Utrecht. So I assume a student will search other universities as well, but before they leave the country, in their country, please make sure you confirm the housing and come to the Netherlands. Otherwise, I also heard many experiences and the cases like students still live in a hotel room, or even though they find a room after like 3 or 6 months. They get the house like really far from the university or etc. So I really want to emphasize about the housing part.
Okay, the housing would be your tip. Well, that's good that Nijrode is
Yes.
here to help you with the housing, both in Amsterdam and in Breukelen.
Yeah, I totally agree with
Yeah?
her on it. One of the big reasons to come to Nijrode was because of the housing. Because when I was arriving here, there was a notification by the Dutch government that if you don't have housing, you better not come here as a student. So that's when Nijrode helped me, because either you live in Amsterdam or in Breukelen. For international students, Nijrode arranges everything. In Amsterdam, I think we have our domain, and in Breukelen we have the campus, and everything happens on campus. So basically you can just wake up, take a shower and immediately go to the class in like
Within
5-minute
5
walk.
minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice. But in Amsterdam as well, the R domain campus, from what I've seen, it's very well connected to the university, and you can't really go wrong if you choose Amsterdam campus or Breukelen campus as an international student.
Okay, and also Holland is known for big companies that we have here, such as Unilever, such as Shell, KLM. Is this also maybe a reason you decided to come to Holland, because of this economy and those big companies?
Indeed. Because I tell my friends from India that when I moved to Netherlands, I just did not move to Netherlands. I actually moved to European Union, because so many international companies have their headquarters in the Benelux region, Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg. But also, it's the EU single market, which is like, as an entrepreneur, you are well connected to a big market, and there's a freedom of people and money and capital that goes around. So it's a big economy that you are now part of, and it helps you in your professional career so much. And speaking of big companies, like this company was founded with the help of big companies like Philips, KLM and Shell and Unilever. So it always helps, and there's a big list of alumni working in the big companies. I also got an internship opportunity at ASML recently, so that always helps with the alumni network and being part of a university which has much closer connections to the big companies. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a beautiful note to end for our webinar. Thank you very much for participating, both of you, and thank you for watching.